All right, let's start with number 1. Again, we're going to obviously look at two-step equations with fraction coefficients. Right now, what I want you to do, just to make me happy, would you please box? Oh no, I can't see it.
Whenever it's recording.
There she is. All right, so now we have. I want you to box the variable term just for the first 2, and then if you don't want to after that, you don't have to, okay? So just do it for the first couple. If you want to continue to do that, that's fine, but right now, if you would, box the term. Right now, you guys three different terms. You have 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Okay? One term has the variable attached to it. So I'm going to do this. Now, I told my other students today, I said, you know, when I write on the board, you guys notice that I actually change color as I do different steps. If that helps you, like I told other kids today, I said if you want to get out a red pen, a blue pen, a fruit pen, if you want to get some colors out, just so that you can differentiate what each step is, you can see it. Because you know yourself as you're just visual. You liked when we used the color. Remember when we circled the colors? A lot of you really liked that. You liked until you got it, and then you didn't have to do it anymore. But you did appreciate that because it made sense to you. You don't have to do this. I'm just looking at your papers lately, and I see lots of pencil. And do you sometimes get lost in your pencil work? Sometimes you're like, where was I going with that? You know? Sometimes you just get lost in your thought. So I'm saying, if it helps you, if you notice, so here, I wrote the problem in blue. Obviously, the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write something different in a different color, like the next step in a different color. If that helps you or not, the choice is yours.
Or not.
Or not. Exactly.
Or not.
All right, so now I'm going to box the variable term. And in order to get that term by itself, okay, what term do we have to make disappear? Or how do we get that x term by itself? What could we do? What could we do to both sides? Abby? We're going to add 1. She said if we add 1, this -1 right here is going to go bye-bye. Do you guys agree that opposites create 0? And now we have exactly what we want, which is the variable term by itself first. So again, these 2-step problems, if you notice, are the same exact process as the other 2 steps that we've done. Correct? And we always created the 0 pair first. Have we not? In every 2-step equation, we've always done the 0 pairs first. Then we got rid of multiply or divide, depending on what we have. But what do we know about the fraction? What's a fraction, really? And what? Yeah, multiply and divide in 1. BOGO. Remember we talked about BOGO yesterday. All right. So here we go. We got an equal sign here. We're gonna put 4/3 x. It's gonna come. It's good. It's a little faster today. Now I'm gonna change my color here because that's what I like to do. Let's see, what color do I want now? Here, can you get the lights, Abby? You can't see my lights. I had to shut these because it's really bright outside. All right. Now, yesterday when we talked, how do we get rid of a fraction? Remember, we want 1x here. We have 4/3 of an x. So how do we get fractions to change into 1? It's on your note sheet. I think we filled it out on your note sheet as well. So if you remember, always go back to our notes from the day before. It should be on there. Delaney, what could we do, honey?
You add your reciprocal.
Yeah, so what is the reciprocal of 4/3? And what we do is, I think your paper says we're going to multiply a fraction by its reciprocal. So she said the reciprocal of 4/3 is 3/4. And if you notice, when we do that, our 3's cancel, don't they? Don't our 4's cancel as well? And they all cancel 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And isn't that what we want? We want 1x. So we can make it disappear. But if we multiply by 3/4 on the left-hand side, we have to also do it on the right side. So we have to keep everything balanced. Yesterday we also multiplied whole numbers by fractions. Does anybody remember what I asked you to do with 8 to make it look nicer? Keely? Yes. So as you have a whole number over here, guys, you're always going to make that 2 numerators over 2 denominators when you have a fraction involved. Okay, change all whole numbers into fractions. So we're going to multiply by 3/4. And at this time, when you have the products of your numerators over denominators, what can you do to help yourself? Make it easier. What could you do? Brent?
Simplify.
Simplify. Is there any number on top and bottom that have a common factor, Brooke? 8 and 4. So 8 and 4 are divisible by what number? They both can be divided by what? By 4. So we're going to take and divide both of them by 4. A 4 turns into 1, and 8 turns into 2. So at this point, we have 1x is x is equal to, and we have 2 times 3, which is 6, over 1. Now, many of you in here can do that in your head. Remember, did I say we can leave anything over 1? You need to make sure your answer is 6. Okay? If you can see that you have 6 and a number over 1, if you don't even want to put 6 over 1 and you just want to say x is equal to 6, I'm okay with that. All right? If you don't need to write the number over 1, you can just go right to the number. I'm good with that. Okay? You don't have to write the number over 1 and then the number again. All right? You can just skip that part. Now, obviously, we need to do what? What's the final step in this whole process? Okay? What is, Emma?
Check.
The check. Now, let's do that. Let's check this puppy. All right. So again, remember, we have a fraction, and x is a whole number. So we're going to create that same idea. And we have 4/3. And I'll put my x in here. Come on. You can show up anytime. There she is. All right. Now we have 6. So we're going to take 6 and change it into a fraction. And then we have -1 is equal to 7. Now, think about what this situation is. I have it up here. I know the other stuff is going to show up here. There it is. We have subtraction. But look at this little sequence of events here at the beginning. Isn't this all multiplication and division? Think of gems. What do we always do first? Do we subtract or do we multiply and divide first? And don't you like how gems keeps that multiply and divide on the same level? So you have to do all of that first. All right? So, again, we're going to simplify just like we did over there with the 8 and the 3 and the 4. What can we simplify here? Is there anything we can simplify? Hannah?
3 and 6.
3 and 6. What can we simplify them as? We're going to divide it by 3. She doesn't speak, folks. All right. And this turns into a 2. Now, obviously, we're going to multiply straight across. Plus 4 times 2. And 8 over 1 is equal to what? 8. And most of you can do that in your head. Because any number over 1, isn't that how we create the number? Into a fraction in the first place, the whole number? It goes right back to a whole number as our answer. All right, so 8 minus 1 is?
7.
7 is equal to 7. Voila. Any questions? So we're kind of putting what we did with the fraction coefficients, this one step, the one-step problem, into 2 steps now. That's all we're doing. So we're kind of building on what we did yesterday. Any questions?
No.
Yes, no, maybe so? How about we try number 3? Can we do number 3? Just because the x, it kind of looks a little different, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it does. It does look a little different. So let's do number 3, and we'll go from there. Again, this is on your worksheet. We're working on the worksheet for homework. Okay? So I believe it's 0 is equal to, isn't it negative 14?
Yes.
Minus 7/2 of an x. Again, this is the second problem. I want you to box your variable term. After this, you don't have to if you don't need to. I'm going to box my variable term. It's quite a big box, but at least it isolates that variable term inside so I can see. It's so easy. I know it's what variable or what term to get rid of. What do we need to get rid of? Delaney?
The 4.
I don't see a
The
4.
negative 4.
I don't see a negative 4. Look
Or
again.
negative 14.
3's a charm. You got it. All right. So now we're going to get rid of a negative 14. Everyone agreed? Positive 14. Again, 0 pair always first.
Yes.
Okay? If you keep that in mind, it's perfect. All right. Until you get to next year, and obviously the process might change. When do you guys agree it might change a little bit by 8th grade? You might have to do things. It all comes down to listening to your teacher, knowing the process. Okay? All right? So you're going to do this again next year because you're going to get to 2-step equations within the multi-step that you have to do in 8th grade. So it's all comes in hand here. All right, so this cancels out. I believe we have this left over. Now, what my students noticed in the earlier hours today is that they had nowhere to extend because X is in the way. You agree with that? So what I showed them, I said, no, if you want to, you can actually flip-flop the 2 sides. You can do that. You can flip-flop and put -7/2 on the left-hand side and 14 on the right-hand side. That's one option. Another option is actually just moving it over from the equal sign, giving yourself some room. So I know you probably already wrote it down. I don't know what do you feel like doing? I don't know. I guess it's up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it the way it is because obviously X is can always be on either side, and as soon as it shows up, we got a blinkage, a little flash. You want to blow on that, Nathan, or what? Blow on my. Are you going to blow? Blow on that. Blow with the dice, Vegas. Got nothing, Nathan. Nathan, we got nothing. You have no luck. Have you used up your luck already? And how old are you?
I don't know.
You don't know how old?
Oh, I'm 12.
Whew! That was close. All right. Well, this was a good idea.
I can fix it.
I'm 46.
I have an idea.
Do you act like you're 46?
No. I act like a 2.
2?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
2-year-olds act better.
Yeah, you know what? Don't ever lose a child in you. That's what. What did you say? What do you say?
Oh, 2-year-olds act better than you.
Than me?
No,
Who said that?
That's what Dylan said.
Dylan. Dylan, that's not.
Oh.
We can probably say things of how you act. Okay.
Oh.
We keep it to ourselves, right? Dylan.
Yes.
Okay. Be wise on what you say because you have to be responsible for what you say. Okay. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna see if just.
You have 5 seconds.
Oh, we got the wheel of death down there. You guys see that? That's why. Oh, it just disappeared.
We gotta do it again now.
Well, this problem is, I think we're gonna call in reinforcements and we're gonna say ixnay on the L video A. Huh?
What does that mean?
It was Pig Latin.
No more video.
Yeah, no more video.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna skip
Big
this.
line, you take the first
Just
letter,
do
put
it.
it at the end, and then add A.